What is good, and welcome to a brand new podcast we are calling In the Slant. So you guys know me on YouTube as Crushables for rebuilding and stuff like that. As you guys know, I started a little bit of a football following with doing some Madden rebuilds, but I want to actually talk about football and not just play Madden all the time. So I have three of my friends here, and basically we're starting a podcast going to be just simply talking about football a lot. So I want to introduce them as well. Most of you guys know me as Crushables. My real life name is actually Brady, so they're going to be referring to me as Brady, so I don't want you guys to be confused if they're not calling me Crushables, obviously. So I want to go ahead and let you guys get to know them as well. That way you guys aren't just fully focused on me. So whoever wants to talk first, go first.
I'm Skyler, and I'm just a huge Packers fan. Glad to be here with my boys and ready to get this podcast going.
My name is Jared, and I'm an OG Baltimore Ravens fan.
Gotta throw the OG in there.
And I'm Dustin, and I am a Las Vegas Raiders fan.
The one thing I've always found cool with our friend group is that like most of us don't like the same teams whatsoever. So we always have like a little bit of a different perspective on things. Some people may agree with something the Ravens did and something, obviously he's going to be a little bit more biased toward that or whatever it may be. I thought that was always cool. But one thing I do want to start this podcast with, we're going to be talking about a number of things, whether it's the offseason storylines that we're already getting, whether it's the whole Kyler Murray thing. But I do want to first talk about the Super Bowl. Obviously, that was the last thing we saw. So the Los Angeles Rams ended up beating the Bengals. So shout out to the Bengals for even getting this far, obviously. Ravens fans hates the Bengals, obviously. But yeah, shout out to the Bengals. The fact that they even made it this far is insane because most of us didn't even have them in the playoffs, I would think. So Rams go on to win the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford gets a ring. Happy for him. But one thing I find very interesting for the Los Angeles Rams is they gave up all their picks and they were able to get it done. Like they traded every single pick, whether it was trading up for Jared Goff or getting Jalen Ramsey, eventually trading for Stafford, Von Miller, and then getting Odell Beckham in free agency. So the Rams did it. So I wanted to, ask you guys, and some of you guys from home can answer this as well. Do you guys think general managers will be more aggressive in trading picks based off what the Rams were able to accomplish?
I feel like it's based on wherever the team's at in the current moment. Because, like, if there's a team that needs a full rebuild, like that, or years away, or like just don't have the assets really to like go all the way, I feel like for a team that's like almost there, like say like a team like the Broncos that like have a lot of good pieces, but they're just missing like a quarterback. Them trading all their picks to get a good quarterback.
Yeah, they're gonna get
take him all the way. Like
they're gonna get Aaron Rodgers from the Packers, apparently.
Yeah, no way.
Maybe.
It's one of those things with the win now teams. I mean, it's really it's a season to win, and if you don't win that season, it's very frustrating, I'm sure, for a lot of teams. But at the same time, whenever it comes towards long-term deals and stuff like that, like it's really hard to look at who they'll sign because whenever it gets to where they're signing so many high players like that, you can't even sign half of them back. So majority of them are going to have to walk because they want too much money, and the cap space is not going to be able to hold up.
If you can do it like the Rams do it, yes. Because they got themselves a quarterback, and look what happened. 1 year in, he won them the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know what it's like to not have a quarterback. I'm a Washington fan. We haven't had one for so long. I'm really hoping they're able to get aggressive and do something about that this offseason. But I want to talk about the offseason storylines we've already been hearing about, obviously. So let's go ahead and start with I think the main one is the Packers, which we obviously have a little bit of perspective. I think us three will have a different perspective on it, and then we'll have the Packers fan probably having a little bit of favoritism towards this. But so Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams. And then Aaron Rodgers also made some kind of post today that some people are like taking in different ways, whether it was a goodbye post, retirement, or going to a different team. Obviously, we know the Broncos are interested. So I just want to real quick ask everybody, is Aaron Rodgers going to be a Green Bay Packer this next season?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and chime in first since I'm the Packers fan. It's been really debatable after the last two seasons. Last season he almost left too, and even put in the entry clause in his contract to where he basically gets to choose his trade team. But with how the season had went and seeing how much fun he had, especially when they went out and drafted Cobb, I think there's a very good chance for him to come back. I don't really think there's a big chance for him to get traded. Not a lot of teams he'd want to go to. I mean, if he did decide to go to Broncos, I mean, you got to look at that division. That division's crazy stacked. And Packers being, one of the dominant ones throughout the last 2 decades, I really think it's a no-brainer that he would come back, but at the same time, retirement's also an option. He's getting to the point to where he's probably ready to start a family, and and he's 37 years old, and he still hasn't done that yet, but that's just one of those things where it's a choice, so we just got to wait, honest.
Real quickly, I just want to say I've found myself rooting for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, in the playoffs because I just wanted to see Aaron Rodgers get another ring. But I've gotten to the point, I'm not going to lie, where I've gotten kind of tired of seeing them go to the playoffs and just get eliminated. So I would love to see the Packers make some changes. I don't know if they will. Obviously, they drafted Jordan Love, which was a whole controversial thing with Aaron Rodgers back then. Personally, for me, though, I would love to see the Packers do something different. I feel like if they were able to transition tag Devontae Adams, get something or franchise, whatever you have to do for Devontae Adams, if you could trade him and get something for him and then trade Aaron Rodgers and then roll with Jordan Love, because they drafted him, so they must have liked him. They drafted Jordan Love over getting a wide receiver to help Aaron Rodgers. They must have liked him at the time. That's what I would personally love to see. I know, some people probably wouldn't. And another thing is, if Aaron Rodgers is going to retire, it's going to be a little weird because I just feel like it'd be a bad way to go out. I mean, they should not have lost the 49ers. It was just a terrible game for the Green Bay Packers. The fact that they got eliminated to San Francisco is not a good look whatsoever.
I say no because the way he lost, you retire off that loss, doesn't look too good.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going back to Green Bay. Obviously, I feel like he'll go to a new team. That team, I don't know. There's a
Any
lot in the air.
ideas? Any ideas where you think?
I was just say Broncos, but you are right. It's pretty stacked over
Yeah,
there.
I mean, they're stacked. They probably got cap space for him, but I mean, at the end, it still is his decision.
I think
if he wants to decide to go somewhere else, I mean,
Aaron Rodgers fits anywhere. I mean, a
Honestly.
team that needs a quarterback, he's going to be. Obviously, you have to have a good team around
Right.
him.
The
If Aaron
Broncos-
Rodgers is not going to want
I
to
got
go.
a sneaky
Gotta give him a
pick. I got
line.
a sneaky
Aaron
pick.
Rodgers-
Hold on. The Broncos do have the receivers for Aaron Rodgers, too.
They do.
All they had there, honestly, in my opinion, was Adams. You can show Cobb and
Lazard was pretty good
and
too.
Scantling.
Yeah,
But-
and BS, he's good too. He's
Their
quick.
tight end as
I
well.
want to hear this
Yeah.
sneaky team that Dustin has. What
Dude,
team we're talking
You
about?
gonna say-
Like,
the
obviously, no, not the Jags. I have trust in Trevor Lawrence. I have faith in Trevor Lawrence. I want that to be known. But Carolina Panthers, they have no quarterback and no one's talked about them. They have a really good defense built around that team. They have decent offensive pieces. All they need is a quarterback. So no one's really talked about that because everyone obviously the number one team everyone's thinking is the Broncos. I mean, that's what I would think too.
Yeah.
But like Skyler said, that's one of the harder divisions to be in. You got Patrick Mahomes, you got Justin Herbert, you got even the Raiders have been getting pretty hot.
Derek
That's
Carr.
not a division that you could just take lightly and come in and take it as easy as
you
that.
can't walk into that division and expect to make a playoff every year. Now that's a really hard. And with Carolina, I mean, they haven't really been in the headlines very much. The only thing I've really seen lately is the whole McCaffrey thing. If they want to trade him, which I mean, don't get me wrong, guy stays healthy. He's a package. He is an amazing running back when he's healthy. And even if he's not healthy, he's much better than me. But
Exactly.
He's better than all of us combined,
yeah,
probably.
combined. Yeah.
Me being a Ravens fan, I know about injuries, and that's what Carolina dealt with a lot. So I feel like if they can stay healthy, their defense is nasty. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
But if they can stay healthy, man, and they get themselves a quarterback,
They're
be done.
nasty, yeah.
I mean, yeah, they have DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson, which is cool, but
well, Robbie Anderson did not perform this year.
I don't know what it was. Sam
it looks
Darnold.
like. Go ahead.
No, yeah, Sam Darnold looked like a freaking beast for the first 3 weeks of the season and just fell right. Saw ghosts again, apparently. I don't know what happened to him. So it's looking like he might be the starter again. I guess obviously we still have the draft free agency to see if that's going to be the case.
A lot of big moves.
Mid-season though, with Robbie Anderson and Aaron Donald, with Sam Darnold, you guys could see him. Do you guys see them getting into it at all?
No,
On the
no.
sideline, you guys didn't see those videos? Yeah, they
no
were
way.
getting, Robbie Anderson looked pretty upset. So
Oh dang.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he had that great of a year, so that makes sense. But the one team I would love to see Aaron Rodgers go to is the Commanders. Honestly,
Oh, yeah?
we need a quarterback. Dude, I'm telling you, if this team,
Surprise.
if my Washington Commanders got a quarterback, we would be insane. I'm
Yeah,
telling you, man. The defense didn't perform as much as I would have liked them to last year. It was not good at all. Chase Young going down didn't help. Montez Sweat went down for a little bit. But I would love to just see Russell Wilson's been a huge rumor as well. So
Yeah.
I like him too. Russell Wilson did not perform so hot with the Seattle Seahawks this last year. But he had the thumb injury, so we'll see how he bounces back. But I still think Russell Wilson's going to be a good quarterback. I know some people have said, no, let's not do it. He's going to be the next Donovan McNabb or whatever, like Washington trade for McNabb or whatever they did back then and never worked out. But I would like to see a guy like Aaron Rodgers in Washington, or even like if the Titans are able to execute getting Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they already have Julio and AJ Brown. I almost said Antonio Brown. AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, but I know Tennessee's cap situation isn't the greatest, and they already have Tannehill on a big contract. So I don't think that's very possible. But yeah, man, Aaron Rodgers, this is going to be the craziest thing. And then I guess we should talk about Devontae Adams a little bit because we haven't really talked about him too much. Is he gonna follow Aaron Rodgers or is he going somewhere else?
I mean, it's with cap space. You gotta look at the teams and make sure they can handle enough cap. I mean,
He's like asking for $30 million per
He's
year.
definitely going to be the
30
top paid wide receiver.
He is, and they're definitely. I'm sure they're definitely working on it too. Because with his chemistry with Rodgers, I mean, you get Rodgers back, you bring him back, and you have Devontae. I mean, he was taking shots on him every play. Like that was his most relied on, and that's because he trusted him the most. Like Cobb was healthy, it could have probably factioned out a little bit of what Devontae had, but I mean, he's just a beast, and he gets the ball in his hands. He can make plays.
And isn't Hopkins the top paid wide receiver right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Hopkins, and actually fun fact, DeAndre Hopkins apparently negotiated that contract all by himself, no agent, which is kind of crazy.
I've seen that.
Yeah, but franchise tag is possibly the thing they're going to go with. I did see that they were going to try to work it out with Aaron before, but he was going to make up his decision, and then from there they're going to decide how to go with Devontae. But
well, I think even if I think they're going to franchise tag him either way, even if he doesn't want to stay, because they weren't wanting to get the picks. But I mean, I'm not trying to be biased because I'm a Raiders fan, but hey, Derek Carr and him used to play back in college.
Yeah,
so
there's
if
a lot
there's
of
a team,
hits.
there's a lot of he said he wouldn't mind playing with Carr. So Carr's gonna be our quarterback. Josh McDaniels has already been talking about his extension and stuff like that. So why not bring in Devontae Adams when we need a receiver bad after the whole Henry Ruggs incident?
But if Rodgers does
crazy.
leave, would it be a waste to keep Adams?
Yeah, it would be, in my opinion. I mean, if Rodgers is gone, I don't think you keep Adams. I think you trade him too.
Probably, but at the same time, it just depends on if he wants to stay. And with the high pick and Jordan Love, he's pulling an Aaron Rodgers on us, and we don't even know it yet. Like, he could be sitting back behind Rodgers, learning everything he does. I mean, he's even throwing the same way as Rodgers at this point. And we've seen how mobile he can be in games. He can run the ball. Like, he ran for that one, it was like a 10 or 11-yard play when he was playing with I think it was for the Lions or against the Lions.
Who is this?
This is Jordan Love.
Oh, you said playing for the Lions. So I was like, what are we talking about?
My bad.
I was like, what are we talking about?
I think it could be a scenario where it plays out like that. Rodgers plays a couple more years for us. Grab Devontae for a couple more years. But if we kept Devontae for Love, that's a veteran wide receiver he's being able to pass to, and he could do some damage with that.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that, like, with positions like that, with, like, wide receiver, like, a few years down the road, they could not be playing, like, anything like they were. That's always a risk.
It's like,
and, like, that's what I'm saying. So, like, if you're going to get rid of Aaron Rodgers, I'm not saying that Jordan Love is, like, going to be terrible and he couldn't do anything with Devontae Adams. But I feel like the best thing would be just trading both of them away for getting, like, probably you get like 4 or 5 picks, like pretty good picks.
It would have to be a heavy load.
Yeah, and then you just build around Jordan Love, and you just get ready for not just like maybe hopefully get a Super Bowl if you guys don't choke in the playoffs, or you can just rebuild with Jordan Love, and they just build a dynasty with a bunch of young players.
But does Adams want to get paid, or does he want to go win a championship?
Yeah,
if he wants to get paid, he can go be like Kenny Galladay.
That is true. That's a good point.
Get paid and go with the Giants.
That's a good point.
But the Giants, in my opinion, if they had a good quarterback, they could go a long way.
What if Adams just like signed with the Texans or something stupid like that?
Jones
just for the money, you would already know where his cards are.
I heard that Cobb actually came back from the Texans, and a lot of the Packers locker room were saying that he had changed because that locker room was so different compared to the one in Green Bay. So they said when he came back, he almost seemed like a person. Probably because it wasn't really a very winning team at that moment, and they were going through a lot of stuff with Deshaun. So, but I mean, it is what it is, you know.
Speaking of Deshaun Watson, we've talked about the Packers enough. That'll be interesting to see how that goes out. What'd you say?
Free my boy.
Free my boy Deshaun Watson. I was about to say Deshaun Watson, man. That situation, I can almost compare it to the Ben Simmons situation in Philadelphia, except obviously. Deshaun Watson has a lot more cases against him right now. So I really don't even know where that's at, actually. I really don't know if he's eventually going to play for the NFL or not. Apparently he's been at practice, but he really wants out, and Deshaun Watson most likely will not be a Texan. And I really like what Davis Mills was able to accomplish for the most part. But the Texans are kind of a weird run organization. So I can kind of see why Watson wants out of there. He's on a big contract, obviously. It's going to cost a lot. The Texans want a ton for him. So
sorry, go ahead.
I don't know what team is going to be able to trade for Deshaun Watson. I'm sure there's teams interested, but can anyone meet the Texans asking price? And is Watson even going to be able to play again? Is another weird thing we have to ask about.
I did see a rumor they wanted 3 first-round picks for him. I don't know how true that is.
I think that's the asking price.
In my opinion, he's worth it. He's complete. He can do everything.
But that's the thing, though. But I would easily pay 3 first-round picks for Watson. Like any team that's like has a older quarterback, or like I would take Watson over Carr any day of the week.
Yeah.
But you don't know what Watson's situation is. So like no team wants to give up all that. Like no team's gonna give up all that unless they find out that he's clear and is able to play. Because no team's gonna be like, oh yeah, I'll give you your 3 first-round picks. But they don't even know what's happening.
They don't even know what's going to be the outcome of the scenario he's going through right now.
Yeah, so like, but if it was clear, there would be, I guarantee you, there'd be multiple teams throwing out 3 first-round picks the next day.
Yeah, the Dolphins apparently were the closest team to ever getting it done. But the allegations are still ongoing against Watson, and I think the NFL is currently still investigating. I haven't really followed the topic, to be honest with you. It happened, a year ago now, and Watson hasn't played football in a while, so it'll be interesting to kind of see if he is. I would imagine he's still a good quarterback, but sometimes sitting out for a year or two can affect you, I guess. I don't know, man. I'd like to see Watson just go somewhere. I'm tired of hearing about it. Get him out of Houston. Roll with Davis Mills, and let's get this over with. Let's trade him somewhere, and hopefully this situation gets resolved this offseason because it needs to be done.
And don't make it seem like Davis Mills looked good. Like
Brady
he said,
pretty good.
He looked pretty good, but I mean, you can't blame him. He is on one of the worst NFL teams in the league right now. So like, I mean, you can't even blame him. Like for him, like just getting thrown into that situation. He performed very good.
It doesn't really surprise me on the whole, Deshaun Watson, about, him coming back to practice. I'm sure that man's been putting in work since all this stuff's been going on. He just hasn't, either been in the building or I'm sure he's been very communicative about his situation with the team, obviously. But I don't think that talent's just going to go out like that. If he goes to another team and this situation, this quarter, whatever, gets handled, when it does get done and gets handled, will he even be able to come back? Like, those allegations weren't really no joke. So, the chance for him to come back is kind of slim. But if he does come back, I could see him going off. And he's going to be happy to be back.
But, see, that's the thing, too, because, people are, like what Brady said, he hasn't been playing for a while. Mm-hmm. He might have slacked off at the first because, but since now, he probably, obviously he knows what the situation's going on. He probably knows if he's coming back or not.
Right.
So, if he knows that he's going to be able to come back, I guarantee you he is in top tip shape to go out there and be a starter in the NFL.
Does Deshaun Watson even have any right to be asking out of Houston? Because obviously he got drafted there, signed the big extension, and then obviously eventually asked out. I think the Bill O'Brien situation with trading DeAndre Hopkins away probably was the last straw, I would assume.
And JJ.
And the JJ Watt thing. So they just got rid of the talent that Watson had. I think they traded for Brandon Cooks, and Watson was like, "Nah, I'm good." So Cooks has been a good wide receiver everywhere he's gone. Underrated. By the way, I don't know why he gets traded to every single. He's been traded almost every offseason, it seems like. So he also played for the Rams at one point. That was another first-round pick I think the Rams gave away for Brandon Cooks. But the Texans, also one thing I didn't like. I don't want to turn this into a dissing on Texans episode. But the one thing I also didn't like about Houston is they hired David Culley to be the head coach, on a 4-year deal. And I think David Culley did a decent job for the circumstances he was given. And then they just fired him for Lovie Smith. I mean, I don't know, man. Houston is a weird run organization, so I can kind of understand why Watson would want out of there. But, man, I'm just excited to see if he can just get out of there. I'm tired of the situation. I'm tired of hearing about it. All right. So let's talk about another weird thing. Kyler Murray, which we have on the table right there. Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. So let's be honest. I'm just going to start this off. I don't want to start this off by saying, oh, my goodness, what team is he going? I don't think he's going anywhere. He's still on his rookie contract. I believe his 5th-year team option's coming up or something like that. But deleted all of his social media posts. Everyone started speculating when players do this and unfollow the team. Oh, my goodness, where are they going? But with Kyler Murray still being on his rookie contract, I just can't. I can't see him going anywhere. And then there's been another report that the Cardinals Kyler Murray wants the Cardinals to trade for CeeDee Lamb or something. I'm like, the Cowboys aren't giving up CeeDee. The whole situation is weird. I don't think Kyler Murray is going anywhere. Deleting your posts is weird, but I want to hear what you guys think about it too. So,
if he's really that unhappy, you might as well get the trade value while it's high. But, at the same time, he is still on his rookie contract. So, why would you want to trade a guy that you're paying, so little to? At the same time, but, in my opinion, Kyler Murray, with a player like Kyler Murray, you could get so many picks. He's one of the youngest quarterbacks in the league. You could get easily, I'm talking about the most picks you're going to see a quarterback get in this offseason. If he was to really want to get traded. Because he is so young. You can see he performs super well. He is worth that. So, if a team really was going to give it up, I would trade it while it's high. Because, Like, he had some games where he looked pretty off,
Mhm.
That
But,
playoff game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
playoff game for sure.
Yeah, I actually saw in that playoff game that he actually was like mad and didn't go back in.
Yeah,
Like, the
that was
fourth
a recent
quarter.
report that came out
That's
too.
insane. I mean, I didn't even know. Honestly, I didn't even know about that CD Lamb. That he wanted him. That's crazy that he would want
I
more
don't know,
weapons. If that were the case, that would be crazy because I mean his weapons are. They just went out and grabbed Zach Ertz towards the end of the season. Like
Cardinals definitely have an offense. They got Zach Ertz.
Yeah,
they got
they
Rondale
got
Moore,
weapons.
They got Hopkins, of course.
if
Christian
anything,
Kirk
if
is
anything,
just-
it'll probably be the coaching.
I don't know if that report was.
offensive or-
Yeah, I don't know how real that report was. That was just something. I think CeeDee Lamb spoke on it because I think I don't know if they played together in college or didn't they go to the same. I don't even know, to be honest. I don't know why CeeDee Lamb was speaking on it. But the whole situation is weird. I don't think Kyler Murray is going anywhere. I think it's just him doing his post to focus. I think he was just pissed about how he performed. I mean, he played terrible against the Rams. Let's just be honest. He played bad. He was not good and did not exceed up to expectations like he should have been. So I think that was another thing that really upset him. So I think deleting the post was just, I mean, just something you do, I guess. If you're just wanting to not look back at the year, maybe you're just trying to get rid of everything you see.
Just trying to move on.
I don't know,
in the
man.
offseason.
The whole thing is weird.
But like Dustin said, with a quarterback like Murray, who's proven that he can pass and he's mobile, if they do end up trading him for some reason, which I don't think they are, he could be worth a lot.
He
So-
would.
Oh, yeah,
a
he'd be-
team would have to give up a lot to
Yeah.
get him because that would be a huge starting piece to your
That's
offense.
okay,
Were you telling me Aaron Rodgers for Kyler Murray straight
Yeah,
up though?
yeah. Well, okay. The only reason
Imagine.
why I said that.
That would not happen.
Okay,
That's not
okay, I
happening.
know. Okay, it probably would not happen. I'm gonna say
Stop
probably.
daydreaming.
But I do think I just saw that there. Whenever he had deleted all those posts, he had posted the pictures of the Pro Bowl, and the only coaches that he was with in those pictures were Green Bay coaches hyping him up. Probably that was the only thing I was saying. I was just getting a little hyped because 2 years of going through, Aaron Rodgers contemplating his career and not knowing if your favorite player and your main piece of your offense is even going to be playing that next season or even in your own jersey. I mean, it's just an idea, but then again, we would probably have to give up a lot if we were to even give up Aaron Rodgers, as much as I hate to admit. I feel like a Rodgers for Kyler Murray trade with some first round swaps could definitely be an idea, but
Swaps, I'm saying. I'm saying the Packers gave up first
I only
round
think
picks.
swaps because I think Aaron Rodgers just won
Whoa.
back to back. Oh man,
It's all right. Kyler Murray can fall. We're talking about him anyway, so
yeah.
He's gonna get right back.
But it just depends on if Aaron wants to come back. I mean, we'll obviously probably stick with Jordan Love. If we didn't, that would just be a joke. So
yeah, no, I don't think Kyler Murray's going to Green Bay. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
I just heard a rumor. I just heard Kyler Murray, 3 first round picks and Derek Carr for Kyler Murray. No bias opinion.
Think so?
Yeah. No, I'm
Okay,
just
so
kidding.
to wrap it up,
real quick, the Ravens, if they were healthy last season, we would have won the Super Bowl. Easy money.
the Ravens obviously had a lot of players on IR, so that's
Yeah.
why.
A ton.
All right, so Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, I mean, I think that situation will resolve itself. If he does get traded, I would be shocked, and I don't think that's happening. All right, one other thing I want to talk about to end this off. I don't really know how long this is, but this is our first episode, so I think so far it's gone pretty well. We got to talk about this man up here. Tom Brady is officially retired, but apparently there's still some rumors and ramblings that he might still come back. Apparently he made this Instagram post and he retired, but some people are still saying that he's contemplating coming back and Tampa Bay is waiting on him. So Tom Brady, 7 Super Bowl rings. Just one thing I did like about Tom Brady, I will say, is that obviously he did all this in New England, and there were some people that said Tom Brady's just a system quarterback. And I'm not gonna lie, there were some times I didn't like Tom Brady. I know a lot of people don't, whether it was the Deflategate or whatever else he did. But he went to a different team. Obviously, still a very talented team. They still put talent around him, and he won a championship somewhere else. So you can't really say he was a system quarterback.
His team
But
was stacked.
yeah, he's
It
had
was-
some
it
really.
wasn't- it wasn't just
it is
all they
stacked.
needed was a quarterback. That's all.
Yeah, that team
They had
was
the receiver.
stacked.
I mean, they made
everything.
they made good moves around him as well.
Brought back Gronk. And,
AB.
Oh my god.
Speaking of, I didn't plan on talking about Antonio Brown, but did you guys actually see the post he made today, or it was yesterday or today? It was like a post of his X-ray, and it was
Yeah,
weird. I didn't
yeah,
know how
I
to
know what you're
understand what Antonio Brown's language is a little bit different from everyone. And I'm not trying to sit here and say that Antonio Brown has. Some people say CTE or whatever. We don't know that, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I do know that he has it. But sometimes he does make weird posts that I don't completely understand, and I'm sure all of us can agree. But he made a post basically trying to throw Tom Brady under the bus, which was weird. So I didn't plan on talking about Antonio Brown, but I just wanted to add that since we did bring him up, and he's been kind of a whole story as well. But Tom Brady and the Buccaneers, I mean, he's gone now, and the Bucs have to look for a different quarterback. But Now that Tom Brady is gone, is there going to be a different quarterback that can get anywhere? Right now, currently, obviously, we can't tell 5 years down in the future on who's going to get drafted or whatever.
Love.
Jordan Love's the guy?
Just
Okay.
kidding. I'm just
So,
kidding.
who is going to be the closest quarterback to kind of fill that GOAT status, I guess you can say? Whether it's up and coming or maybe a veteran player you think now.
Deshaun Watson to the Bucks.
Watson to the Buccaneers. I mean, that is. I have actually heard some rumors about that.
I mean, the only person really I got in mind, I got a couple people. Obviously, I will say Aaron Rodgers if he decides to stay, because man, with the new coaching, I mean, he implemented the run game again, and that's all he was slacking. But Patrick Mahomes, I mean, he's had a lot of issues off the field, with family, but that's his business. But that man came in the Andy Reid's offense, and he really showed everybody that was the only piece Andy Reid was missing. And weapons are outstanding, and as long as they stay hot and they stay ready to play ball every Sunday, Monday, or Thursday, they're gonna come out on that offense and they're gonna put points on the board. They were slacking a little bit, but when they're on it, they're on it. It's pretty crazy to watch.
I think Patrick Mahomes is probably the closest one for me as well. Three straight AFC championships ever since he officially got the start. Obviously, he sat behind Alex Smith for a year. Alex Smith ended up hurting his leg really badly in Washington. Another F moment for me, but yeah, I think Patrick Mahomes obviously is the closest one to fill his shoes. Maybe you got guys like Josh Allen. Aaron Rodgers is too old for me to say that. I mean, he's only got one. I feel like Aaron Rodgers have way more. It's so weird to me that Aaron Rodgers only has one Super Bowl ring.
It's a defense problem, man.
And it's just
it kills us
crazy.
when he's averaging 28 points a game in the playoffs, and our defense is letting up 40 plus, or 30 plus. It's a whole game changer. Literally, there's been years where we rode on his back because our defense wasn't up to par with what was going on.
But that's another thing, another sneaky pick. I'm not just saying this because they obviously made it to the Super Bowl this year. But Joe Burrow, he looks like that guy. He looks
does.
he looks like he's so young. And I feel like that's one player. When you just look at him, obviously the Bengals still need to improve their O-line. Please help Joe Burrow.
Yes, as a Ravens fan, I hate to say that. Bengals have a good quarterback. Get him an O-line, and they should be set.
Dude, they have so much cap space and assets, too. They're going to be able to execute
in this draft, I guarantee they're going O-line first.
Oh, for sure. And like I said, offensive linemen and free agency, I believe they're, really high in cap space. So, or as far as having cap space. So, they'll probably resolve that easily for Joe Burrow. I believe they have to re-sign Jesse Bates and some other guys. Maybe they'll re-sign Eli Apple.
No.
Eli Apple. Do you think they'll resign Eli Apple? Man, that guy is crazy going on Twitter
Every
the way
game.
he was. But
Every game. Real
Eli
quick,
Apple. But,
back to your question, though. You said people that could fill Tom Brady, right?
yeah.
I would go with Patrick Mahomes as well, just for the short amount of time and what he's done in the league. That team's something special, man. They keep that up. They're going to keep pushing
Weapons
it
all over
every
the
season.
field, especially O-line. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. You've seen in the offseason. They had
Yeah.
their troubles in the Super Bowl. Guess what they did? Went and fixed it.
Yep. Grabbed a couple veterans and filled in some gaps.
Draft Humphrey.
Yep.
I think he was one of the.
Got Orlando Brown from the Ravens,
That's
right?
right. Hey, and we got Doffways. We'll take that.
Yeah. Okay, so also I think I was going to wrap it up with just that, but since we have talked about Patrick Mahomes a little bit, we'll wrap it up with this. His family. Let's just talk about it. So there was a report from TMZ, I think, or something, that Patrick Mahomes apparently asked his family to stop attending games. We all know what Brady Matthews and Jackson Mahomes do, on the sidelines or whatever, whether it's putting wine on fans or whatever, or what is it? Champagne,
yeah.
apologize. Champagne on fans that are probably cold, obviously. We don't know whether those fans liked it or not. There's some people saying that
It's
he
probably
loved
mixed.
it. Yeah, it's mixed. Some people are probably like, "Oh my goodness, we wanted it, we asked for it," and then some people are like, "No, please, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing to us right now?" And then of course Jackson Mahomes,
He's
so
terrible.
he's so I don't watch his content, obviously, and I'm sure maybe some of you guys at home watch him. I don't know. Maybe Scott watches him on the weekends.
No,
I don't know,
no,
but I don't know. I don't think the report was weird because it would be kind of weird if Patrick Mahomes really asked his wife and his brother to stop. Or I guess it's his fiance. I don't know if they're actually married yet, but to stop asking them to attend games, which is, they are a little bad for his brand. They do make him look bad, but at the end of the day, I think most of us, if not all of us, can see that Patrick Mahomes is all business. We've never seen Patrick Mahomes do anything weird.
Yep.
Yes, he has his his fiance and his brother that do that weird stuff. But
real quick. Sorry to cut you off there. I did see a tweet. that said that was cap. Patrick Mahomes himself said it.
Yeah, no,
He
that's what
didn't
I'm
say
saying.
that.
That's what I
Okay.
was gonna get to. They
My
were
bad.
saying that obviously that wasn't true, or Patrick Mahomes saying y'all just be making anything up. So obviously he can't. I don't know. Man. The whole situation
with
weird.
the deal he signed. I mean, he must have just had at least a conversation with them, let them know what was up, because after the whole Washington incident, and then on top of that, the other countless incidents where it's happened out the field. I mean, this man is worth like what, 250 million? That's his contract.
Or no,
like,
500 million.
500.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
10 years.
Yeah, I have that.
10
Okay,
10
my bad.
years,
Over
500.
10 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
They got
So
him
this
on
man
lock.
is the brand now for the Chiefs. Like everything he does. I mean, like they said, this man put ketchup on everything. You know how out that was. Like in terms of family situations, they throw all of that out in the open. Like in terms of media, like they just do not care. But I think that's something that he could fully deal with himself off the field and fix those corrections. To make him look better to the public, because we all know public can be crucial.
For sure.
They can destroy careers as much as they can make them.
I guarantee you, he definitely asked. He was like, "Jackson, can you please stop at least dancing?" He's like, "You can post your pictures, posting up on the TikTok or whatever, but please stop dancing. Imagine dancing on someone's memorial. Like,
Yeah.
that's why Patrick Mahomes got the most backlash this year, just because like his brother was dumb enough to do that. Like
on the Sean Taylor number. About the same time, there were a lot of footage shown from that game that people were standing in that area on the logo, and that's still not respectful at all, because he didn't just stand on the logo and dance. He had the jersey, walked on it, but I'm sure he wasn't very known to the situation, which would surprise me because he's literally there.
Yeah.
But that was just one of probably the biggest moves he made. That was the worst on top of everything.
Yeah, Washington. I will say it right now. With our owner, is a poverty franchise. I mean, apparently the way they ran that whole Sean Taylor memorial thing was just so off. They didn't even announce it until like a week before, which made no sense.
Yeah,
I don't
the family
understand.
Didn't even know about it until that
I don't
point.
understand why you don't announce it before the season. Apparently, Dan Snyder might be on his way out of the league. With all these allegations against him, I'm really hoping so as a Washington fan. I'm sure most of us Washington fans want Dan Snyder out. Apparently, Jackson Mahomes was asked to stand on the memorial, which makes no sense to me.
Directed to stand there with his family. I mean, in that picture, his family was standing behind the red rope, but like, I don't know. We don't know exactly what the situation is. We just see things online of what people have said, what they came out and say in response to it. But I mean, who knows the real story? Maybe he was directed to stand there, but the TikTok was the final line there. That was.
I just feel,
Jersey
but
to do
like you
that.
guys said, like people were standing on them, like there was like, but like that's the thing, like for a memorial, like in my opinion, no one should be able, like
You're right.
that
Nobody.
gate is locked.
Nobody
in.
should be standing
You're
on it.
that
But
at all.
apparently they were directed to stand on it, which makes no sense. Really hoping Dan Snyder gets fired. And the stadium in general, I mean, you saw Jalen Hurts almost got crushed against or with all those fans leaning on the railing. So yeah, I'm really hoping Washington makes some changes. Obviously, the owner. Well, obviously it's the owner, so the NFL is going to have to be the one to do that. But I think that's going to be it for our first episode of In the Slant. Next week, I think I kind of want to talk about obviously what other stories come out. We'll bring that, but I also want to talk about like quarterback carousel, where all these quarterbacks might land. We talked about it a little bit today, but I want to talk about the Mitchell Trubisky's of the world, who apparently is ready to start again. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. This has been In the Slant, and we're saying peace.